Guys, please speak up. Tell me what is it.
To investigate the causes.
Sorry, can you just speak louder?
Common group.
Yeah? Hello? I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, cohort in common group
Uh-huh.
means group of people sharing a common experience, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, common experiences. And what about the study? How it resembles? Like, uh, it resembles like which study? There is a
Ma'am, cause and
resemblance.
effect.
Huh?
Cause and effect.
No, no, no. I'm just telling that how like
Ma'am, like
it is like little like cross sectional, and also it also looks like sometimes case control, right? Because we have to do retrospective and prospective both, right?
yes, ma'am.
What you are going to do over here is that you will be from the cause you will be proceeding up to the effect, मतलब future तक follow up करोगे. I have given one example also for the doctors. Remember, a doctor follows up a patient of his symptoms and then finally finds out a particular diagnosis for that particular disease, for particular risk factor. Okay, this is what you're gonna do in cohort. You might not be doctor, but at least you'll be taking out some particular causes and then following up that particular causes for a longer time to find out the effect of that particular cause. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so here you have one sum. So this sum you can take different values and then take out the incidence rates of the particular disease. This is as simple as earlier one. Okay, over here what you're going to do is you'll make a 2 by 2 table. You'll take CHT development of cardiac heart disease, right? So those what is that? Cardiac heart disease or what? Chronic heart disease. Chronic heart disease, right? Cardiovas. What CHT means?
Chronic heart disease, ma'am.
Yeah. Chronic heart disease. Yeah. So chronic heart disease developed. Who has got chronic heart disease and who has not developed that particular disease? You will be taking out in the table, and one side you will be putting smoker, and another side you will be putting non-smoker, right? And then give the name A, B, C, D like that. The way we have done before. Now you have to also put a column where you will be totaling it, right? And finding out how many the rates of incidence rates of CHD among the smokers. Now this the first column. Okay, so you are not able to see my screen, right? I did not share it. Why didn't you say? You should say no, ma'am. I am not. We are not able to see the screen. So over here you see, so this particular column is for smokers, okay? This particular column is for smokers. Now this mm, over here what we are gonna do is we will take out the incidence rate of CHT among the smokers, okay? So now smokers, uh, you will be totaling it, and then 84 is A by a plus b. Okay, so a by a plus b is will be your 28% per thousand population. Per thousand population, why you are saying? Because our, I mean, like you will be writing that percent. This 28 will be your percentage, right? And incident rate is calculated in thousand population. Okay, so that is the reason you will be writing as 28%. Okay, and in incidence rates of CHD among non-smoker. This particular part, this total particular part is for non-smoker, right? So over here C will be non-smoker as well as CHD developed people. Okay, divided by total of this particular thing. So whatever you will get, 17.4 will be your percentage incidence rate among CHD among non-smokers. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
It's easy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So all of you, what you're gonna do is you're gonna practice it among yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna give you any sum. So these things you change. This A, B, C, D you change and try to practice this particular math. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. They speaks about chi-square here. You are not like you don't know what is chi-square, so we'll leave this one particular thing. Okay. Uh, Now you have relative risk. Okay, so the relative risk is nothing but it is a ratio of incidence of the disease among the exposed and incidence among the non-exposed. Now, in this particular formula, you see for relative risk, what is there? Incidence of disease among exposed, incidence of disease among non-exposed. For that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna do like 28 by 17.4 it will come. That's 28 divided by 17.4 and your sum now your answer will be 1.6. Okay. This first to do this sum first you have to take out both the incidence rates. In the smoker you have to take out the incidence rate and in the non-smoker also you have to find out the incidence rate. Okay. Once you find out that particular incidence rate, then the same formula you'll be using and you'll be dividing that particular thing. For example, the first incident rate is 28% and the second one is 17.4. So all you get 1.6, that is the relative risk, right? And over here there are some of the things which you will be using for your inference, okay, to draw your inference. If your relative risk is more than 1, then there is a positive association, like earlier odds ratio. Okay, this also shows you positive association of that particular risk factor with that disease if the relative risk is more than 1. So what will be this one? See 1.6, right? What we can say this for this particular relative risk for smokers?
Positive association, ma'am.
Yeah, positive association. That means a person might develop CHT if they smoke, right? Right? This inference we can draw.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so the same here. Next inference, next thing is that if RR is equal to 1, then there is no association. Got it? If it is equal to 1 or if it is less than 1 also, then there will be no association of that particular disease. Okay. Earlier for odds ratio, if it is more than 1, there is a positive association, and if it is equal to 1, then there is likely or not likely, like you will be in a confusion whether it will cause or not, right? And if it is less than 1, then there is no association, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
here they have here they told that smokers develops CHT 1.6 times more than the non-smokers. This is what you can draw as a conclusion with this sum. Okay. Now, whenever, for example, you have taken out a particular population, okay, and you want to do cohort study for them, and you have taken a particular what is that risk factor in that particular population. Now to draw any the in the objective you will be writing, we will be seeing the associate to find out the association of that particular risk factor with the disease. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna compare it with the you will take out the incidence rate of this particular thing in that target population, and once after finding out that incidence rate you will be finding out the relative risk. Okay, so once you found out that the relative risk is more than 1 point, no, 1 or something, then you will write that this particular risk factor is associated with this disease, right? Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just ask, Akoizam got it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, for relative, this one risks, there is some mistake in formula, ma'am.
Mistake in the formula. Yeah. That you understood. No, this is plus.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is plus. Last time also it was like that because it is from the IHMR University, so it is like that. The PPT is from IHMR University, so it's okay. You got it right anyway.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I got
Yeah.
it.
So you can just do this correction in your PPTs as well and use it accordingly. Yeah. So anything else you got it? I thought already I mean like you have understood this one, this odds ratio, relative risk is so easy to understand, isn't it? Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Akoijam, do you have any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
And Amit, did you understand anything?
Yes, ma'am.
You got it right? What is your background,
Yes,
Amit? I mean, what you did in graduation?
ma'am. BSc Botany.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, these maths are okay for you. I think it's very simple maths, so there is no trouble, right?
Yes, ma'am.
सिर्फ और सिर्फ फॉर्मूला याद रखना है. फॉर्मूला याद रखना है और फॉर्मूला में you have to put these numbers and your answer will be there. Okay, and then you have to remember कि relative risk में क्या inference था और odds ratio में क्या inference था. So you have to remember all these things and draw a positive conclusion out of the study. Okay, and what about Angam Lakshmi? Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am, I understood.
Yeah, Angam, this one, what is that? The maths are okay, the sums are okay, it's not difficult, right?
No, yes, ma'am, it's okay.
Okay, so in the exams, if you get this kind of sums, like if I ask you to take out odds ratio and relative risk for a particular 2 by 2 table, you all will be able to find out.
Yes,
Ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so there is no doubt. Can I move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, so this attributable risk is nothing but a particular proportion it will be attributing towards that particular disease. Okay, attributable risk is that particular risk factor is going to attribute a little bit of amount of proportion to that disease. Okay, so this is defined as amount or proportion of disease incidence that can be attributed to a specific exposure. Okay, so it indicates that what extent the disease under study can attribute the exposure. Okay, over here what we have is incidence of the disease among exposed and the incidence of the disease among non-exposed, which we have seen earlier, the earlier example. So over there it was 28 was your incidence among the exposed, all right, and 17.4 was for the non-exposed people, and we divided with the incidence of disease among the exposed, because over here we are going to find out the attributable risk. Okay, and 28 is the incidence. So so the final answer will be 37.9 percentage. This particular thing you have to into with 100 and your percentage will be this. And 37.9% of CHT among smokers was due to smoking. What you got to know, right? That this particular proportion is developing CHT because of smoking. Got it? Did you understand this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's so easy to understand that you will take out a particular proportion which is actually getting what is that CHT only because of smoking. You'll get to know that only these particular people are getting CHT because of smoking. You'll get to know that, and this attributable risk, if you want to write it in your research paper also, that will be like your research paper will be much stronger, and you can write good inferences if you use this formula. Okay. And next is difference between case control and cohort study. So over here, what you're gonna see is there, like we know that some part of the cohort studies are little bit like case control and little bit like a case, what is that, cross sectional. But still there are some existent and significant differences between these two. Okay, now what are those significant differences? In exams, they might just ask you, what are the difference between case control and cohort. You have to particularly give this kind of significant differences which is there over here. So proceeds from effect to cause. केस कंट्रोल में क्या होता है, इफेक्ट से कॉज में जाता है, ठीक है. कोहर्ट में क्या होता है, प्रोसीड्स फ्रॉम कॉज टू इफेक्ट. मतलब केस कंट्रोल में क्या हुआ, ऑलरेडी डायबिटीज हो गया, बट हम लोग कॉज फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं कि इसका कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाइट से कुछ रिलेशन है क्या. ठीक है, ऑलरेडी डायबिटिक पेशेंट्स को हम लोग स्टडीज में इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं और नॉन डायबिटिक्स को भी, और वी विल फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज द कॉज बिहाइंड डायबिटीज. And over here, proceeds from cause to effect. We are going to find out the relation now that carbohydrate diet is causing diabetes or not. कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाइट्स लेने वाले लोगों को फॉलो करके इन द फ्यूचर वी आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डिजीज कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाइट इज कॉजिंग टू दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन और टू दैट पर्टिकुलर टारगेट पॉपुलेशन. समझ में आ गया, ये इजी था, दिस वाज इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone got it at a time? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So starts with the disease to risk factor. The same thing which I said, that disease already start हो गया. Diabetes has started. Now you will be proceeding towards finding out the risk factor of that particular disease. Over here, starts with people exposed. Starts with people exposed matlab exposed to that particular risk factor, that these people are exposed to smokes. Now we are going to find out what is the possible cause of chronic heart disease. Okay. Next is your rate of exposure among exposed and those not and exposed is studied. Okay, rate of exposure among the exposed is studied. मतलब कितना rate expose हुआ है among that particular population, that we are going to study. Over here in cohort, what you are going to see is test frequency of disease among those exposed and those who are not exposed. We are going to see the frequency क्योंकि relative risk निकाला हमने, attributable risk निकाला, right? These are the frequencies we have found out of that particular disease. We found out that 37.9% of CHT among that particular smokers, smokers has actually developed CHT, right? You have got those frequencies. Now next is that first approach to testing hypothesis. Okay, case control is the first approach to testing hypothesis, and in cohort reserved for testing precisely defined hypothesis. Over, that's what I said, that in cohort studies you'd be seeing things in a descriptive manner. You will explore each and everything. You'll get to know if there is any other risk factor associated with it. But in case control, the study you don't get to know a lot of things. You only get to know minor things from case control. So to know a lot of things, you have to do cohort study. Okay. Next, there are some other differences also. Those are also very much easy. If you read also, you can understand. Okay. Involves small number of subjects. Matlab, target population is a little bit small for case control and involves large number of subjects. Like the study will be for a state, for a particular state. The study will be for a particular country. Okay. So it in cohort involves a large number of people. Less time and resources. Case control, why it is taking less time and resources? Because it is done in small number of people. Small number of people, you can do it in around 500 population का village में भी, है ना? तो अगर टाइम मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, पॉपुलेशन कम होगा, टारगेट पॉपुलेशन कम होगा, तो डेफिनेटली द टाइम विल बी लेस, राइट? And you'll be spending less money while conducting the research, isn't it? So see, for example, if you want to do a study, you would get funded. Okay, you will be funded. You'll have to propose, you'll have to give your proposal to particular journals. If they want to publish your paper, they will accept your proposal, and they I mean, like, then the institute or someone will fund you particular amount of money to you to conduct that study. For example, if you are going for case control, your institute might say that, okay, so a case control is a small study, you only need to take 1,000 people as in your study, so we'll be only funding around 40,000 or 50,000 or so, not more than that. Okay, because that will be the only expenses. But if you go for these cohort studies, it goes for years and years, so the funding will be more for that particular study, right? So that is what it wants to say. So in cohort study, the more time is consumed and the cost is very intensive, because it goes for years and years, and you have to follow up for many years, many a times, right? So in the case control study, suitable for rare diseases, because the study will be for a particular population, they are having some rare disease, and you can just do the case control study to find out if there is any association between the risk factor to the disease. And this one, cohort 1, is very difficult for rare diseases. Okay. This case control study actually is over here you find out the odds ratio. Like I said before, over here you only find out the odds ratio, that is in the case control. But in the cohort studies, you would be finding out relative risk, attributable risk, population attributable risk, and all, right? And in case control, it cannot yield information about disease on one other than selected for. So basically what it is saying, that it will not give you a lot of information about that particular disease. You will be only seeing one particular risk factor, and you will explore, and you will what is that, after effect, you will be finding one particular risk factor. But in the case cohort is for longer time, and you get to identify a lot of information. So over here the insight is more, you get a lot of insight than the case control study. So these particular differences are understandable for you?
Yes, ma'am.
It is very significant, right? Whatever we have seen in the previous matlab, when we were seeing case control and cohort studies, you can just find out the difference and write it in your exam if you want to. And also you have understood, like, it's not only about writing it in your exam, but you have to also understand that actually what can be the difference. You can just sit and think about it. Okay, why we should, like, for example, if there is any disease, now you will be finding out by yourself why I should do case control for this particular disease, and why should not I go for cohort, and what will be feasible for you as an individual person. You might just say that, no, I cannot do cohort studies because it is very expensive, and also will be needing more personnel. So I would, as an individual person, if I want, on an individual basis, if I want to write some research paper, I would be going for case control, right? So you have to have your own judgment before doing a study. Okay, so this was for today. We don't have much left in this one. Randomized is there, and that's it. Like bias, you will be seeing how you will be like how samples can be biased and studies can be biased. And also you will be saying categories of the diseases and the common type of epidemiological problem in India. Okay, so that is what there in the in your syllabus, so that we will complete it. I think I'll need two more classes or so, and then we will be completing everything, right? So for today you can just have a break for some time and go for next class, and just wait for some time. I'll just take a screenshot for you. Yeah, so have a break, and what is that, and do study that case control wala study. Okay, don't forget, everyone has to study that one. I might not ask question today or tomorrow, but someday I might ask, right? So just keep it in mind and study. All right then, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.